Speaking of flooding, I guess Paul Roos has been in the news because of that subject. Let's now hear from him. He is with Christy Malthouse.
Paul, Brisbane, they seem to be restructuring their forward line a little bit, obviously, without Lynch and still no Brown. Can you take advantage of that tonight?
Well, we hope so, but they've got so many good players. I think the biggest mistake you can make against Brisbane is taking them lightly. They're 4 times played in the grand final, 3 premierships. So, look, their structures are pretty similar. They try to get the tools up in the forward line and get it along the top of the square. So hopefully we can cope with that.
Is it going to be more about restricting their scoring opportunities, or with your forward line in such good form, will it not matter so much if it becomes a shootout?
Well, the midfield's always a really important battle, and I think stoppages now are such a big part of footy. If they get really good access around the stoppages with the quality of ball use they've got, it's going to be very difficult for us. If we can sort of break even or get on top in that area, certainly we think we've got the forward line that can perhaps hurt them.
All right, well, thanks for that.
Thanks.
Time now to welcome Tim Lane as we have a look at the teams. Tim.
Quarters, good evening. Well, the Swans introduced a new word last year too. It was called tempo. They slowed Brisbane down. They held them to just 11 goals and lost by 2 points here. And they held them to 7 when they beat them in Sydney. Let's have a look at the lineups. Now, Brisbane's front half in some bother at the moment. They're going to need Clark Keating and young Daniel Merritt to stretch Craig Bolton back there. They're going to need their crummers like McGrath and like Corrie and like Ackermanis, the irrepressible one in particular, and their other target forward in Daniel Bradshaw to do the job. Jared Crouch, a record-breaking 159th game since debut against Ackermanis. In midfield, Brisbane more brilliant, Sydney certainly capable. Voss and Williams, what a contest. Voss is 250th, Williams playing his 278th. Jason Ball missed a shot seconds before the siren here last year as the Swans went down heartbreakingly by 2 points. Up to the front half for Sydney. Now here is a heavyweight contest. Mal Michael and Barry Hall, who kicked 74 goals last year. Nick Davis kicked 3 in the first quarter, you might recall, up here in round 1 last year. Goods, front half or back half? We'll have to wait and see. Ryan O'Keefe is a useful goal kicker for the Swans. Young Sean Dempster at 21 playing his first game, son of a former Swan in Graham Dempster. The 4 interchange for Brisbane have played just 8 games between them. Brisbane just stretched a little in the bottom half at the moment. Quarters, back to you. How's the weather?
Absolutely magnificent down here, Tim. We're going to take a break. It's 2 of the heavyweights of the comp going at it tonight as we have a look at their recent rivalry.
This will be a sprint.
It is a sprint. Who's going to win it? I think Lyndon Leo might get there first. He might roll through. Unbelievable.
And Leppich again charges. Oh, what courage from Barry.
Super courage.
To give them the lead. He has missed it. There's the siren. Night in Brisbane. Let's confirm that. Good evening, Christy and Brad McEwen.
Good evening. It is a lovely night. It's currently 23 degrees with an expected low of 19, but they are expecting showers. And it has been drizzling on and off all day, so you'd think if it is going to rain, a good start here is absolutely crucial. The ground has held up quite well, though it doesn't seem to be too slippery, Brad.
No, there certainly were issues with the ground for round 1 versus St Kilda because of the cricket. Well, Kevin Mitchell Jr. has it in tip-top condition for tonight's game. There won't be any issues. Keep an eye on Nigel Lappin. Struggling with 2 ankle injuries. He's hardly trained all week.
Jolly got first touch for the Sydney Swans and it spills to Williams. Sydney kicking to the left of your television screens. They go to the 50. Here's Goods, the Brownlow medalist, gathers now. Got a handball away, wasn't a bad one either to Ablett. Kicks into the forward pocket. Guess who? In game number 2, 5-0, Michael Voss gathers and goes short into the back pocket and finds Notting.
Down in the defensive half of the ground. Sometimes an important goal kicker for Brisbane. Awkward for Lappin there. Now Ball does pretty well. Good centre for Goods. Just couldn't get into the... Rather Jolly. Couldn't get into the contest, Goods. Leppich looking to sweep it. A little dangerous. Williams a chance here. He does have kicking power, but not quite cottoning onto that. And McDonald in the very last line for the Lions.
And good Stephen playing at centre-half forward too, which is named in the paper, which is most unusual.
These days, that's for sure. Scott, short, back to Notting.
Here we go, just looking around the ground, man on man at the moment. It's only going to be a lazy checker that'll get an easy kick, and there it is. Why do they do this now? We're talking about the involvement of the game. Why do they actually let a guy lead away like that and get an easy kick?
Well, you'll be better to answer that than anyone, Malcolm. It's at half forward for the Sydney Swans. Hall trying to pick it up unsuccessfully. Another throw in. 8 touches for Jude Bolton already. Matthews has got 5 for the Lions, 4 apiece to Johnson, Lepich and Scott.
So this is the genuine chance when from a kick out, if you use the ball right.
Maxfield backing his old legs against Corrie's young ones. 2 on 1. Bradshaw to Voss was good. A long way out. Good kick. Corrie can line them up. As Anthony Corrie attempts to kick the first goal of the night. We have one at last. The drought breaks. Sydney just needing something to hang their hats on.
Played.
Nick Davis, who kicked goals at this end of the ground in the first quarter last year when they met in round 1. Well done by Spriggs, giving Williams half a chance from a long way. Johnson couldn't mop it up. Good pressure from Brisbane. Too good. Lappin, and that's a very good kick. Covering more than 50 metres and hitting Corrie between the eyes. Now McDonald playing the boundary line. Kennelly hustling Pike out of it. Craig Bolton. That's okay. Good long ball. Oh, fine mark by Ablett. Goal unguarded. He was tempted for a moment. Thinks better of it.
50.
Oh, well, this becomes a goal.
That's a controversial free kick.
It really is, because he was playing on.
He was.
To the side. Be interesting to have a look at it again and see just what the infringement was. I know a lot of coaches in particular, so it had no impact at all on the play, and Ablett was, you watch him, he goes other than over the mark, but Lappin at that point
But
has
usually,
transgressed.
at least the umpire warns them.
Yeah.
I mean, Ablett was looking to play on.
The Swans have their first. Luke Ablett. Limit their opportunities to break you open.
I would have thought Sydney were reasonable strength at the moment. What, O'Loughlin and maybe 1 or 2 others? I mean, you're not going to get Brisbane in a worse time in the last 4 years.
And Paul Roos said going into the season they were in much better shape than they were at the start of last year. And Sydney building here. Luke Ablett running into Copeland. Did well to ride it. Did very well. Williams didn't know he was turning into the face of trouble. McGrath to Pike. Now Lappin.
Brisbane player now hurt him.
Hackett's down too, by the way. Just off the ball.
Ackermanis and Crouch have been going at it all night. I'll tell you what, the way it's headed, someone's going to get badly hurt out there tonight. Copeland's down and hasn't moved. And Ackermanis and Crouch, this is an absolute war between these two. Absolute war.
Well, that was just good, hard-at-it stuff from Luke Ablett. He got Copeland right down the middle. In the meantime, a 50-metre penalty should give Brisbane a goal.
Ackermanis is still down off the ball too, Tim. Just got up now.
Yep. So Lappin with the man on the mark, 35 out. And the crowd does have something to get excited about now.
Had a Luke Power, that type of play in the half-forward line. I mean, Corrie's developing. I wonder now Kirk's really got control. They're really nullifying each other, Power and Kirk. Throw Luke Power out there. He always kicked a goal.
Ackermanis will stay down and get the crumbs. Left foot kick. To the hot spot, Lappin underneath it, but Leo over the top has taken a beauty. That was a great mark, and it's a good spot up too as he finds Nix at half-back.
Just needed him to take on the man on the mark and have 3 bounces. Goods attacking that a little too zealously. Scott, good left-hander, excellent to McDonald.
Oh, he's a genius.
Great support, Johnson. Logan into the action now, and McDonald gets it back. And Brisbane could do some damage here. Confident stuff from the youngster. It's a good centre, and there's a free kick to Bradshaw. So for a 16-point break, Daniel Bradshaw delivers the goods.
Ruse calls the shot in the box. Ablett. Fed it out nicely to Crouch, who kicks the torp to the 50. Hall, tough one to mark. Johnson gets back. Oh, he caught one high there, Buchanan from Michael. Unnecessary, very unnecessary.
Chris, give it now, give it now. Thank you.
And it's a free kick to Eamon Buchanan. Looks for Hall and just a bare 15 metres, I would have thought.
Interesting, that was a punch out of the centre circle. Did you notice that? Broke the area. We actually had a clearance. Yeah, that was silly, wasn't it?
Well, he milked it, but
don't need to do it.
It was high contact.
Do you know there hasn't been one tap to advantage, one hit out to advantage?
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, it's very hard with off two steps for big fellas. They can say what they like. It is very hard when two hands are hitting each other.
So Barry Hall, 45-degree angle. Swannies need this one. He's 40 from goal. It's a good-looking kick. It's right through the middle.
Going. Pedals away as he always does when he's benched. Notting. Fierce tackling. Brisbane composed. Scott to McDonald. Power. White on the long lead. Margin 10 points. Pike. One veteran to another.
Louis, 2 metres.
Oh, wow. When you look up Martin Pike, all you can see is a sea of red and white.
Let's go. Play on.
Not much option but to go long. Bradshaw got the hands on Corrie and Logan and Adcock, who is a chance. A big chance. To start believing in. And surely they can't believe in the method that they applied in that first half. It yielded 2 goals for. Merritt banging it back towards the boundary. Ablett taking it away from goal. And that's been a hallmark of Brisbane's tackling tonight, that body slamming stuff.
That should have been a free kick to Ablett because that tackle came after the ball was over the line.
And it is.
Good decision. Top umpiring. Can't do that. Ablett to Hall. So Barry wheels around on the right and pumps it long to the hot spot. Goods in front, can't take the mark. Johnson caught a bit high, no said the umpire. Over the ball is he, free kick to Sydney. And 50. 50 metres. And he'd probably get another one if there was any more room.
And for the statistically minded, it'll be Sydney's second goal from the 50.
Yeah, but hang on, that's the same one as we had earlier, and they called it a good decision. He's held it in. Got to clearly see that.
And Buchanan kicks the goal.
Kennelly just looking like the man who might inspire the Swans back half to really get cracking. Maxfield for goods. Under too much pressure to do anything but that. And Johnson looks a little more composed now.
Lead from White. And a perfect pass. To Ackermanis. Into the pocket. Bradshaw's got to beat 2. Got hands on it. Pike.
Louis. Bat. Leo, his kick.
And it's a free kick to Sydney. Roberts Thompson to take it. Shorts on to Maxfield. And he drills it long. Johnson. Nicks on. Look at that. Again, Chris Johnson. Brilliant stuff. And his kick finds Power, who can play on and almost goal from here. Power goes for home. It is a magnificent goal. That is the business from Luke Power. 43 plays 23. It's Brisbane by 20.
Bradshaw 1 goal 3.
Yeah.
Now, this is where the Swans have been very good. They've got half their kick out, the Brisbane point kick out, they've got it into their forward line. So this is when the Swans are at their most dangerous.
Ablett for disposal number 13. Draws the player.
Here we go.
Now Kennelly, who'll back himself.
Here we go.
Now kicks to half forward, but it's all Brisbane. And now the quick rebound. Johnson will set something up. It's a wonderful kick to White.
Well, Ackermanis is on.
He's got Ackermanis, he's got Corrie. Ackermanis can dish off here to Corrie if he wants, though. He'll turn his back and he'll go back and have a ping at the goals. Listen, Ackermanis, 12 disposals. He's got the flashy, I guess we'd call them yellow boots. He's a beautiful kick.
Acker's had the better of that contest. Jared Crouch playing his 159th straight since debut, breaking John Murphy's long-standing record. But it hasn't been a happy night for him. And Ackermanis kicking a goal has given Brisbane its biggest break. They just have not been able to work it forward with any freedom. That's a free kick for a high tackle. Jude Bolton, when he picks himself up, can take it.
Tim, the game has opened up a bit though, hasn't it? I mean, what we saw in that first half. They're behind now. They've got to try and win it, surely.
Well, they need at least 5 goals, and they might get one here as Hall out-muscles Mel Michael. See if he can massage this through, and he does.
Four goals this quarter. It's the Lions by 20 points. They led by 18 at half-time. Both ruckmen missed it. Copeland.
Cut it out, play on.
To Scott.
15, play on.
Power. Cop one.
Knock it out, came out, play on.
Now Matthews.
Mate.
Kick to half forward. Goods has got the front posse. Again, well done by Lepic, but umpire said it's a push. And Lepic is not happy.
50 metres.
And 50 for more abuse.
50 metres.
So that's the third.
50 metres.
That is the third free kick that Brisbane have given away for abusing the umpire.
50 metres. 50 metres. Straight down him.
Didn't look like a free kick.
Well, they've been stiff in the 2 instances in this quarter, haven't they? But the free kicks against them were pretty tough, but you've got to maintain your discipline.
7-1 the free kicks this quarter in favour of the Swans. Careful to give another one away. So Goods from point blank.
It's a 14-point ball game.
That's good, mate. Just keep doing what you're doing, okay?
And it's another miss. If Brisbane lose, they will rue their inaccuracy. They've kicked 6-14 for a 15-point lead. 4-6 from set shots.
Kennelly plays on. Well, he's backing himself again. Was he tackled when he bounced it? Yes, ruled the umpire.
You bounced it. Hey, tie.
As he bounced the ball, the Brisbane player had one hand on his jumper. So technically, that is holding the ball.
No.
Well, I reckon it was a photo finish,
There's
but
the bounce.
nah.
Yeah.
You reckon? Oh, I reckon that's a tough call too.
Well, you know,
It's ridiculous,
Yeah.
really.
technically, I guess it's right though.
Unnecessary.
But what's happened here? More abusive language. There's a goal anyway.
Another man not happy. I think the question there is there room for interpretation on the umpire's part? It seems these days they're so cramped by the conditions that are imposed upon them as to how they should adjudicate that they feel they can't interpret. The game's changed in that respect.
Yes.
Dempster and Pike and Merritt. Tough being a Swan out there tonight. Adcock to a one-on-one. Bradshaw dangerous. Oh, that's brilliant.
Guys. No worries, Will. We're watching it.
In effect, this is an old-fashioned 15-metre penalty because that's as far as he was from goal. Bradshaw kicks his second in a minute. Tactical diversion to give himself some more run. Jolly out there rucking for Sydney. Jude Bolton. It was a touch ball, unfortunately. Buchanan had to give it off to Bevan, to Davis, to Kirk. besieged. Now Nix, nowhere to go. McDonald, and we must give credit to Brisbane, but they've given away a free there, I reckon.
Came off your knee, came off the top of you.
So adjudged not
the ball.
a legal disposal of the ball. It came off the knee.
Oh, well, he took 2 steps, I suppose. There was one the Swans player got.
He hadn't had prior opportunity. It's very tough, and now Hall can line them up. Big Bazza has 2 for the night. He makes it 3, and the Swans stay barely afloat.
And a guy that can both left and right. Anyone out there getting tagged, just every now and again to do it.
Beautiful hands by Ackermanis to Corrie. Good shepherd by White. Yes! Corrie looks for Bradshaw. It's coming back. Bradshaw's got his 4th.
I think that might have been an Academy Award performance.
It had that impression about it, didn't it?
That's not though. That was a fair dinkum push in the back.
Oh,
And 50.
that might be 50.
And 50. Let's go. You put him down. You put him down.
And again, it's Stuart Maxfield, the skipper. And it'll be another scoring chance for the Lions.
We can't complain about the action this quarter. It's been fantastic.
I don't think Acker can complain about that 50 either. It puts him the ball. He rams it home. The Lions by 32 points. Their 6th goal of this 3rd quarter.
Pikey's put down Crouch off the ball. Now, is that a free kick? I reckon it might be.
Oh, don't. Just say that's 350 metres each. That's 6. And I would suggest
free
the
kick
average,
in the middle, Malcolm.
yeah, in a game is tops 2. I mean, you know, over a season. So you're looking at 650 metres. It's unheard of.
It's the most 50 since Grant Hackett won the gold medal.
Look at me. I've got to wait for the light, okay? Here we go. Let's go now.
So free kick from that Martin Pike infringement. Ball pumps it long, and Scott Braid stood his ground. That takes a fair bit of courage when there's the likes of Barry Hall around you.
Thanks, Barry.
I wonder how much he sensed of what was coming.
Well,
Thanks, Pat.
I reckon you always know.
Do you know who?
Mine.
No, not always.
So Bradshaw has had an
Hasn't
excellent
gone,
quarter.
hasn't
Marks
gone.
at half back. Kicked 3 goals this turn.
Yours.
More players go off. Ackermanis has gone down again.
Right on it. Right on it.
Been down more times than Primo Carnera.
Let's go.
I think he went down 11 as he was defending his world title back in the 30s, Malcolm.
Right.
No, you weren't tackled.
Ball. Down by there. So he wasn't going to be fooled by that one. Mark taken by McDonald. To Bradshaw. Now Ackermanis. Again, left foot. Oh, there's a couple of lines almost collided. Ball picks the ball off the pack, hands it to Williams. Goods.
Let him go. Right on it, Jace.
Well, they need a couple of quickies before 3/4 time here, the Swans. Goods gets it going quickly. The big fist was by Michael, sharp by Johnson. And we'll have a bounce, 30 out from the Swans.
And against the team that has been something of a nemesis over the last couple of seasons, the Lions
I'm going to deal with it.
are winning the argument, they're winning the fights, and they're winning the football match by 32 points at the last change.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good quarter of footy. Had a bit good mark, good kicks for goals, some points still come. But I thought both forward lines had a lot going for them, and all of a sudden the game opened up.
I don't think he's believing in grace in victory at the moment. He's rubbing it in a little, is Acker, and well he might. Kirk the first kick, O'Keefe the second as the Swans make the takeaway, and that's a push. Bevan's ball.
Got your arms around him.
Chris Johnson A picture of restraint. He's not going to give away 50 right now.
No, and that's fair enough too. A quick kick coming out the centre, the forward in front, infringement. I think that's fair enough.
Well, they want 3 goals on the trot, Malcolm, to position themselves as you suggested could happen. Bevan's kick goes skidding away from Roberts-Thompson. Hall and Keating. Lepic the backhander, but it's dangerous. Davis normally nails these. It just curled too much. They trail by 31 points.
So Chris Johnson to do the kicking in. Looks for Lepic. Beautiful kick.
That's a great kick, isn't it?
To Power. Hemmed in on the boundary line, but squeezes the kick out to the wing. The chase is on here. Lappin against Buchanan. Oh, Buchanan got a horrible bounce. It's like one of those that goes to fine leg from a hook shot. Just spun around.
Whoops.
White.
Whoops.
Throw in.
Well, an old coach once told me, if you kick it less than 10 metres, you may as well just keep running to the boundary line, because I won't have a chat to you. There's Keneally now on Voss, 250 grain champion, and the lad from Ireland.
Keating against Ball. Williams.
No chance at all.
It's been well held tonight, Paul Williams.
He's had a tough night, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's never found any space.
Had a wonderful career, well, with Collingwood, but excelled in Sydney. Here he is again. It's a half-forward. Hall against Lepic. Almost. Now Davis. Good shepherd by Hall. Davis looks for Roberts-Thompson, who's playing up forward. Beautifully sharp. Front and centre, O'Keefe. Should be a goal. So there's the move, Malcolm. Roberts-Thompson is having a bit of a stint up forward, and that was beautiful, beautiful crumbing from O'Keefe.
Yeah, Justin Lepic tried the one-hander then. Perhaps might have been, you're better off with a flat hand to push it down in front of you, give yourself a chance rather than let it get behind you. But it was a good contest up forward.
Lovely kick from Nick Davis to give Roberts-Thompson every chance and give the crummer a run at it. Swans kick the first of this final quarter.
We're looking for 2 more, Tim.
Well, if they kick 3 more now, Malcolm, they'll be within about a kick.
Oh, Keating had a free hit and didn't do it.
Bounce of the ball just eluded a few Swans. Power with nowhere to go. Pike likewise.
Of course, that terrible performance from Robert Walls last week when he rode off those Brisbane Lions too early.
Wasn't it? Oh, he went
appalling.
early, didn't he?
Appalling.
We were telling him, don't do it.
Appalling performance, Robert. We won't be riding the Swans off just yet.
That dominance from Keating, I mentioned it early in the game, that punching he did in the grand finals was great. Just not going to be able to do it now with that run up in the centre square.
McGrath, good spoil from behind O'Keefe. Goods. But Lepic leading Hall to it. Ackermanis. Power. Copeland forcing it on.
Well, one of you boys.
Scott and Adcock were both at it. Jude Bolt to his namesake. Davis is doing well at the start of this last quarter. Ablett for Williams. Could nail this from outside 50. It's a lovely kick. It is home. Here they come.
This is where they kicked it. Adam Goods was free in the forward pocket.
The game has certainly opened up, and as you said, Nick Davis has been very creative around the midfield. This is what he can do,
and that's a percentage play really for him to have a shot on the burst, isn't it?
And really, that sort of game early, tight like they played against the Kangaroos last week, doesn't work for a bloke like him.
Well, the Swans get the first 2 of the final term, and all of a sudden the 32-point margin is cut back to 19. Swans again. Ablett had a good night. Hall one out with Lepic. Hall uses his body. Can he pick it up and have a ping at the goals? Hall goes sideways. Well played. Oh, here comes Sydney. Bevan. Paul Bevan will have a shot directly in front, 40 metres out.
Could this be number 3?
Oh, the maestro. He's back.
So Paul Bevan, this can make it a 13-point game. Directly in front, 40 out. And yes, sirree, it's another one to the Swans.
Well, it's a funny game and it's an exciting game now. Barry Hall tried the one-hander and it went behind. Probably a good lesson for Justin Lepage. As a defender, don't let the ball get behind you. As a forward, it's not a bad idea if you're playing from behind. Good finish.
Paul Bevan produces the third on the trot for the Swans. Michael Voss has gone into the centre. The margin is 13 points. This is like Muhammad Ali in Zaire back in '74. Soaking up enormous punishment for quite a few rounds and then producing some blows of their own.
That's related to that 30s bloke that you mentioned.
Primo Canira.
Oh, shocking bounce by the umpire.
Lappin roves his own tap and
well
runs
done.
into big trouble.
That is courage. That was terrific from both boys then.
Copped a corky, I reckon.
So was it high?
I reckon he copped a corky.
Where did he get it?
Right in the thigh, I reckon.
Oh, there was a hand in that.
It was pretty good from both, though.
And now the breakaway. McGrath. Brisbane look for the answering goal. Oh, sure. Oh, he's the one-hand specialist. The Roy Kazali of the Montenera.
Well, there's been 3 attempted, as we see, watch Lappin go off then. See how he put his hand out, not his arm? You stop it with your hand and perhaps get that second grab on it. I mean, that one's stuck. You just need a flat hand. Stop it hard.
Bradshaw has kicked 4. 3 of them in the third quarter. He now has 4 in the second half.
Great play on, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
a medal of honour to Lappin for that one.
Yeah, no, that was good, though, but just good all round. And he's a nice kick, isn't he? I reckon over his career he'll be a 65 to 68% player. You know, the best I saw was Lockett at 70. God, what about tomorrow? Aren't they sore? Yuck.
Deep.
Yeah.
So the Lions by 19.
Oh, another fist, well done.
Backhander from ball, ineffective. O'Keefe attacks it again. Good hands by McGrath. Adcock's in there. Stalemate here.
Stephen, that's been much better in the second half. The ruckmen have actually tried to impose themselves on the game. And I think for the betterment of their team, get the ball going their way. It's been a much better game of footy.
Well, Michael Voss is on the ball. Davis couldn't control it, and we'll have another throw in.
Voss hasn't had a possession for 30 minutes.
He has spent a lot of time at full forward while Swans had that little push.
Merritt the tap.
Everyone's on it. Everyone's on it.
One of the things, after they kicked those first 3 goals, the Swans, we know Brisbane have come back with another one now, is it something Paul Roos can actually do out of that? There'll be one situation when he looks back on the tape during the week with the players to say, gee, if we did that and didn't do that, we would have just got that ball forward again and it might have been 4. There's going to be a lot of positives out of this second half for them.
Quick kick out of the pack by Davis is marked by Notting for Brisbane.
And they haven't lost it yet either, have they?
Not yet. Scott, is he off? No.
So I'm watching a different game.
Scott goes out wide to the wing and finds Johnson. The lone survivor of the chosen 8 with the merger back with Fitzroy a few years back. There's Chris Johnson.
Gee, what a pickup.
Bevan to Dempster. To Ball. Forced to kick long and wide. Hall will get there first. Wasn't a bad kick in the end. So Hall's got some time here to use it. Kennelly provides the run. Clever kick. In the end, they mucked it up, the Swans, and Voss will mop up for Brisbane, and away go the Lions.
McGrath down and in trouble. The Lions might have lost another one, I reckon. Here comes Bradshaw again. Had to come a long way from goal this time. The goal is unguarded. That won't have the carry. And it's comfortable for Craig Bolton. Ash McGrath in big trouble at the other end of the ground. And now Sydney prepared to take risks. Go down the middle. Ball gives to Williams. Now Goods. 19 points the margin. There is time, and Brisbane, you fancy, are hanging on to a degree now. Next for Hall. He's got the sit here, and he's got the mark. Near the fallen McGrath, who's out of the game. Looks like an ankle. So Lappin gone, McGrath gone, and some pretty tired players. There's big bustling.
At the same time, Matthews is going off as they carry McGrath. It's a bit of a pity because Sydney could have had one extra man around. I mean, that's luck in coaching sometimes. You make the move and, whoops, wrong time.
Gee, goal here, Malcolm, and I reckon they're a chance.
Yeah, well.
Plenty of time, not even halfway mark the last quarter.
It's a long testing shot. Big moment in the match. Hall for his fourth.
Great kick.
That's a great kick. Swans are alive. The margin 13 points.
Well, both key forwards, and I suppose they would be the best two known forwards in both teams, have now got 4 and 5 goals respectively. That's Barry Hall and Daniel Bradshaw. And considering what happened in the first half, that's a pretty good return. And their number of times to the ball, a la a normal game and a normal full forward, would be much less than they would be used to.
13 points the margin. Sydney coming at Brisbane. The Lions are 2 men down. Lappin's gone, looks like, for the night, and so is McGrath. Can Brisbane hang on? Are we headed for a Saturday night special? It's been a dramatic night for many reasons.
Brad McEwen, give us an update on Brisbane's injuries.
Yeah, well, the Lions will be hoping they don't have another running player go down. Lappin's off with that corky. McGrath's getting work on his ankle. The only 2 fit players they've got are McLaren and Keating. So they could be in a bit of trouble.
Free kick going Sydney's way to Jolly.
It's actually been a fascinating match, hasn't it? So tight for so long. Swans taking a lot of punishment, but now coming home.
Long kick by Jolly, looking for Goods. McDonald did it really well. To Adcock. Johnson, good tackle. Dispossessed by Bolton. O'Keefe goes in hard again. Bevan, quick hands to Spriggs. Back to Bolton.
Look at that.
Now Dempster, thumping kick. Hall's underneath it. Hall can't mark. Soccer off the ground. It's a point.
2 kicks in it.
This has got no resemblance to the game that we saw in the first half. 6 goals, 15 goals in the second half. So 6 to 15.
A little bit more instep on that soccer work from Goods. And he had a man in the goal square to run onto it. 2 kicks in it now. The game is very much alive, and Brisbane are on the defensive. It was the Lions who stormed home against Port Adelaide last Saturday night. The boot is now on the other foot. Selwood. Half the quarter left. Oh, now he's a picture of uncertainty. He hadn't really gone other than over the mark. That was a tough call. Ackermanis. But Sydney have it covered in midfield. Nix will get a free kick.
That was good courage.
It's falling the Swans' way at the moment.
That is courage.
They have the sniff. He was after O'Keefe. Scott covers it. He'll need to get it out. It comes out. Michael. He needs to get it out now, otherwise he could be in bother. There'll be a ball up at the 50. Suddenly, it's all the Swans.
Yeah, gee whiz, and there has been some acts of courage tonight. I mean, that is keeping your eye on the footy. Both players were really good then, and that's happened a lot.
Ackermanis gains some meterage for his team, and the bounce favours Corrie. Again shows a lot of dash. On the right boot, it's a free kick to Voss, is it? Slung out of the way. Umpire said no. Voss isn't happy. Bolton clears. Good spot up to Ablett. He took it on the third bite just as well too.
Stephen, that's only the third time this quarter, compared to Sydney's 10, that they've gone into their 50-metre arc.
So Ablett.
That's a dominance.
To Hall, who's a long way from home at half-back.
Had to do it to give them a target. Ablett keeps coming and receives. Goods gives him the call. That's where he's gone. Can he soar? He didn't soar, but he nearly marked it. The line is the objective here.
He's furious with himself, Adam Goods. Did everything right, didn't he, except hold the mark.
Gee, next goal's...
it's huge. Well, using the 3-goal projection, they could be in front.
I've already used that once. They got them. That's why the game's tight.
Good centre there by Ball for Maxfield. Well done, Nix. Gives himself a chance. Brilliantly done. Goods. There's a goal in it. The Swans are throwing everything at the Lions. Suddenly there's a slightly ashen look about Lee Matthews' face. And suddenly there's few Sydney supporters at the GABBA are getting very excited.
Well, Brisbane have got to win it now. They can't save it.
No. I mean, there's absolutely no doubt kicking goals is infectious, contagious, gets a lot of people excited, including everyone playing. I mean, anyhow, the first half is finished. Thank goodness for that.
And did we write the Swans off?
No, we didn't.
No.
Robert Walsh did.
No, it only took 3 goals, and they got them.
You called them.
Unbelievable. 6 points the difference. Sydney with all the momentum. Ackermanis has had a great night. Good tap on the Notting. Doubles back to Pike. Gets rid of one tackle. Now Williams scrubs the kick. Michael in front of Hall. Bevan attacks it. Davis waiting. Ball, says the crowd. And ball, says the umpire. Free kick to Brisbane.
Just punched it to yourself.
Should have got it out there. He had a couple of men around him that he could have worked it to. Ackermanis tried to lift Brisbane. Did it in the centre. Does it again here. And gives to White. Now Sydney have got to hold fast. The flow of the game is with them.
Great.
Here comes Voss, but it's chopped off.
I thought he'd done it. Barry read it. Beautiful.
And all of a sudden the Swans are playing with that braveness that they used to muster. Spriggs giving it to Kennelly, who I think got them going in the third quarter. It looked orchestrated that he was the one who started providing movement off half-back. Barry to Maxfield, now Craig Bolton. This is brave, Dempster. They keep it alive. Jude Bolton to Maxfield. They're dangerous, and Matthew Nix can line them up.
Well, I don't honestly know who's going to win this game. We know the momentum's with Sydney, right? But Brisbane have been such a great team. But if this is not a greatest lesson for everybody else watching this game tonight to say, if you don't have a go, you'll never ever know. And if you sit back and wait it for happen, the opposition will always beat you. You've got to kick goals to win this game. And providing they give 6 points for every goal that's kicked, I think the game will be safe.
They were 32 points down at three-quarter time. With just under 6 minutes left in the last quarter, Matthew Nix is lining them up.
Whoops.
And he cuts the margin to 5 points.
Well,
very disappointing result.
Yeah. This has been pretty dangerous from those sides when points have been kicked. Swans have a lot of players in their zone. There's got to be a kick out to the tall. That's a very safe play, just outside of 50.
Another metre, Goodsy, metre. 1 metre, Goodsy.
This becomes the important kick.
McLaren has it.
Let's go. Goodsy, don't go in.
The young ruckman goes for the long option to the wing. No mark to Jolly. Quick kick out of the pack by Ackermanis. They'll have a throw in. Half forward. Brisbane into attack. They lead by 5. They led by 32 at three-quarter time.
And there's young Spriggs, David Spriggs now on Ackermanis. Crouch is having a rest. Played a wonderful game, Ackermanis. No free kicks for holding.
5 to go. The GABBA crowd trying to lift their team. Another full house.
It's going to take some heroics to win this now. You know, there's going to be something we remember. I've just got a funny feeling it hasn't sort of finished this game, has it?
Hasn't got the ball.
Free kick to Ackermanis.
Oh, he's been brilliant.
Hey, careful.
Coming up for disposal number 24. He's had 8 clearances, 6 inside 50s, 3 tackles and kicked 2 goals, 1. What a night he's had against fierce opposition.
Yes!
Ackermanis looks for Bradshaw,
Here it is.
who busts open the pack. Here's a chance for the champ in his 250th. Voss loses his feet, and they concede the rush behind. It's back to a goal of difference.
Young Sean Dempster on debut, finding out about the tension and intensity of elite level football. He did well.
He did very well because he kept his feet. The skipper struggled to get there and just tried to push it forward, but it was very calm from a kid.
Brisbane won the round 1 match here between the 2 teams last year by 2 points. We have another thriller. Big climb by McLaren, all Sydney at ground level. Spriggs to Jude Bolton, bad fumble Nix. Kirk atones. Spriggs again, Nix, Kennelly takes them on as he loves to do. Kirk, Jude Bolton, here's a chance. The long bomb, not sure whether it was the right option. Yes, I am. Scores are level. This game has exploded in the last quarter. The Swans have climbed out of the grave from 32 points down.
Wow. This is, well, good on Paul Roos, all I can say.
Could have the last laugh this week.
Good on him. He wasn't going to win it the other way.
No. They've come from nowhere, the Swans. Scores level.
Well, you can't say, I mean, this is great now. I mean, I know the closest to the scores does it, but it's been good footy.
From the bounce, Adcock gets there first for Brisbane. Kicks it to half forward. Corrie's had a pretty good night. White tries to tap it to him, but the wall of Swans defenders is up to it. And it's a free kick, Sydney, and Kennelly has sparked them, no doubt, in the second half. Clever kick to Nix, who's on the run here. He has 2 bounces. He can almost go all the way. Nix goes for home. It's an ordinary kick in the end. And it's marked by Lipich on the last line of defence. He just ran out of gas.
Well, they're behind.
Oh, in the
Would have
middle.
put them in front. They have not been in front all night. Brisbane have led for 100 minutes. Sydney have led. It's been level for 15. Sydney have not been in front. Darryl White. Still a good couple of minutes left.
Gee, just looking up the ground, the Brisbane players are just not running for him. He's got to kick it long.
Goes for Notting. Didn't read the drop. Ablett did. Nothing Lee Matthews can do now.
It's been good. Been good, Tim.
Very good. 20th use of the ball. That's a high bomb. Hall and Roberts-Thompson. Smothered by Scott. Sydney have still got a score to put their noses in front. They're doing a Kiwi here. Shifting the metaphors from boxing to racing.
Yeah, I remember that. What a great run. Now listen, no draw this year yet, just as a matter of interest. There's got to be something happening here special. It's one of those sort of games.
Copeland kicks the ball over his head, and we'll have a throw in. Sydney's half-forward line. I reckon there's about 3 minutes to go, if that.
In the context of a season, I reckon if you can stay in front of the win-loss ratio, you always feel okay. Pretty important game. I know it's early in the season, but 2-1 sounds much better.
Beautifully rode by Williams on the left. Great run down by Ackermanis, who forced the spoil. That was a big tackle, but Sydney get it back. Williams again. It's a high ball into the goal square. Play on. Johnson somehow got the football, tucked the Sherrin under the arm and goes for a run into the middle. Voss and Ackermanis. Voss couldn't trap it. Now Craig Bolton again as Sydney reload. Inside 50. Hall from behind. Michael saves it 8 this time for Brisbane. This is an incredible finish.
They refuse to yield. Here's Voss, the greatest Lion, but he can't produce. Bolton skidding it. Brisbane vulnerable again, but again they hold up. Lepic. Who can win this loose ball? It might be the telling one. Curry.
Both fell over.
Dempster with him the first game. It'll be a ball up.
Amazing what pressure does. Both the youngsters went to ground then. It's amazing, isn't it?
There can only be seconds left. Scores are level. We might have our first draw of the season. Ben Matthews for Sydney. The give and go. The hopeful hand pass to nobody.
You know that player Williams running onto the ball, isn't it? I mean, that's what Sydney need to do. They've got some wonderfully gifted players to get them out in the open. We know about Brisbane. We just haven't been sure about Sydney at the start of this year. It's a good team.
McLaren against Ball, neither won it. Ball in dispute. Over the top of it is Logan.
Big win here. Big win here.
Now at the back of the pack, it's
a big
gathered
win.
by Ball.
It's a huge win.
This is Kennelly's trips. Now, that is a free kick coming back by Kennelly. Time on has been called. Luke Power's the man that legged him, so Kennelly's got it in the middle of the GABBA.
Brave call from Simon Meredith, but I reckon he was right.
Barry! Straight away! Thanks, Chris. Take it away, Chris.
So Barry Hall has got the free kick. He's directly in front.
Yep, no, okay,
he is only 20 metres out. Any score will do it. I reckon there's just seconds left.
Remember Jason Ball last year?
Luke Power. Thanks, mate.
But the equation's a little bit easier this time. He just needs a point.
Sky, what though the odds be great or small, Swans will go in and win overall, while the loyal Suns are marching onward to victory.
I don't know whether I've ever known that to happen.
Extraordinary.
Hitting the front for the first time after the final bell. That is
Extraordinary game of football. Absolutely extraordinary. Let's go down. I see Christy Malthouse in the mix of the Swans there. We'll have a look at a replay first before we go to Christie. Now here's the free kick. Hall had the sit. Scott was there. And there is the hand over the shoulder. And let's have a look at the reaction of Paul Roos when the siren went. So Roosy knows he's got it. Barry Hall kicked the goal. He's with Christy Malthouse.
Was your heart in your mouth then?
Oh, the siren went on you, I'd score one way or another, so no pressure at all.
That was an amazing turnaround in the last quarter. Where did that come from?
Oh, it certainly was. We caught a bit of a spray at three-quarter time, which we thoroughly deserved, about skill errors, and look, all we needed to do was get in long, get a contest and play basic footy, and that's exactly what we did, and that's why we won the game.
It's a big win now to win like that.
Oh, we're playing for respect, you know. We really let ourselves down last week, so that's what it was all about this week, and no better challenge than the Brisbane Lions up here.
Well done.
Excellent, thanks.
And the look at Paul Roos' face, as I said, he's copped a lot of flack this week, but he has had the last laugh big time.
Well, in all fairness, that first half was terrible. Let's not forget that.
No.
To make the courage to change, because that was a definite change, and they got goals from it. So, however it happened, I think it's great. Barry Hall, that's the second time he's done that, you know.
He's kicked 5, by the way.
Well, yeah.
He did it against Hawthorn at the
last round of the
MCG.
year.
He didn't give himself a chance to get nervous, did he? He
No.
didn't waste any time. I wonder if Brisbane in the end paid for the last quarter last week. They were out on their feet tonight, I reckon, in the last 20 minutes.
And they did lose a couple of runners, as mentioned, with a couple of injuries too.
Lappin went off injured and McGrath went off injured at a crucial time in the last quarter.
They had a lot of chances to kick goals. They didn't kick well tonight for goal, did they?
Well, 26 scoring shots to 22 in the end, Brisbane's favour.
That's nearly been the theme for this weekend. The teams that have kicked straight have won.
Malcolm, I reckon seasons are built on wins like that.
Can be.
We're going to take a break from the GABBA. What an extraordinary night for AFL football. Sydney home after the siren by a goal against the Lions. First time after exactly 120 minutes of football tonight, Sydney were in front, and as I said, the first time for the whole night that they were in front. The first half was probably one of the worst halves of football you'll ever see, but the game exploded in the second half, and the final score, Sydney 13-9-87, defeated Brisbane 11-15-81. For the Swans, Hall kicked 5 goals, and Adam Goodes was the only other multiple goal scorer with 2 goals, while for the Brisbane Lions, Daniel Bradshaw, he did his bit. He kicked 5 goals, 3, and Jason Ackermanis also had a wonderful night, but it was to no avail in the end. The Swans home by 1 kick after the final siren.